Alright, well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me once again, back at it again at the Arsenal podcast. And of course, I want to thank you guys for staying up yesterday at night. Thank you so much for staying with me. We did so many live shows about Thomas Partey, about the new signings we have made. But of course, now I want us to wrap up our transfer window, and then in the next video, I'm going to rate our player ratings in the transfer market. How about that? But anyway, let us wrap up the transfer window, the done deals, players who have joined us, and the players who left. I'll start with the players that have joined us because I'm so excited. I'm so happy to talk about Thomas Partey. I'm so happy to talk about all the players that have joined us. And finally, I'll end with the players that have left the club and those that should have left but didn't leave. Probably even those that, should have joined but never joined. The transfer window ends on the October 16th, so we still have a couple of days. I don't mean that we are going to sign in more players outside England, but within England there are still a couple of days for Arsenal and the other clubs who would wish to bring in more players to do so. And that takes me to a point that we are linked with Said Benrahma. So probably if Arsenal is still interested in the man himself, Said Benrahma, it could be a big opportunity that we can still go for him, because inside England, inside the UK, we can still make transfer signings until the 16th of October. However, by the 5th of October, which was yesterday, it was confirmed that all international transfers were closed, with the last person crossing the borders being Thomas Partey. Okay, so the first player Arsenal signed in this transfer summer was William Borges da Silva. It was a free deal from Chelsea, and he's going to be staying with us for the next 3 years. That is what his contract dictates. So he'll be stuck at Arsenal. He will be playing with Arsenal for the next 3 years. That is William Borges da Silva, and I think he has really started very well this season. He has a couple of assists. He has really added a lot of pressure and attack to the Arsenal side, and I think it's one of the biggest signings we have made in the transfer window. The other player we signed is another Brazilian, in the names of Gabriel Magalhães. Gabriel Magalhães signed from Lille Metropole in France, and he has become a very central figure in Arsenal's play. Very central figure in Arsenal play. Of course, we remember that by the time we went into the transfer window, it was either we get a centre back or we come back in the league and we are doomed. But it was good business. Thank you, Arteta. Thank you, Edu. We went into the transfer window spot on. We went for the right centre back. We went in for the biggest centre back you can talk about. He's doing wonders. He's doing everything you can think about as a big centre back. Better than Harry Maguire, trust me. Better than Kalidou Koulibaly. Better than any Chelsea defender. I think he's the best defender in the league next to Virgil van Dijk. Trust me, Gabriel Magalhães is doing wonders at Arsenal. £22 million was the figure that we had to pay to the club itself, Lille Metropole, and many people think we really cheated Lille Metropole. It should have been bigger than that, but of course, like I said, when you in transfers, it doesn't get better than that. As long as you get your man, that is the biggest thing. So Gabriel Magalhães also joined us. Shirt number 6 is what he's going to be putting on. He has already played 3 out of the 4 Premier League games we played, and we have not lost a game when he is on the pitch. I repeat this, we have not lost a game when Gabriel Magalhães is on the pitch so far. So that is very good. I think you guys have already seen what he can do, what he can offer to Arsenal. The aerial prowess is good. The ground duels are good. I think he's one player that you can think of as a very decent and very successful centre back. In the next 2-3 years, we are going to have a very big centre back. If at all we don't sell him. Now, Arsenal has this big problem of selling off stars, but if at all we don't sell him, he's going to be one of the biggest centre backs in the world. Of course, William Saliba was another player who joined us from Saint Etienne in France. There was a looming loan deal for William Saliba, but it seems he's going to be staying with the club finally, because his move to Rennes didn't materialize. So he's going to be staying with Arsenal. That's another couple of good news, I would say. But William Saliba had signed for us the summer before, not really this summer, but he had stayed there on loan, and he comes into the Arsenal team this summer, training with the big team and so on. Right now, playing with the under-23s. He has not had so many games. Actually, he has not had any Premier League game. He has not made his Premier League debut. Many fans are still asking for him, including me, and still asking myself, why does Rob Holding play ahead of William Saliba? Why does Rob Holding start and William Saliba sits on the bench when we clearly know that Saliba is better than Rob Holding? Of course, many Arsenal fans would want to see William Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes partner up in that defense after a whole lot of mistakes created by David Luiz and his centre-back partnerships last season for Arsenal. So maybe as we go into the season, as we roll over into the season, Gabriel Magalhaes and William Saliba could get a chance to play together. But for now, it is what it is. Saliba is the third player that joined us. In player number 4, I'll talk about Dani Ceballos, the big man, Dani Ceballos, who signed for us on loan from Real Madrid. He's going to be staying with us until the end of the season. His contract is has no buy option and has no obligation to buy, but he has already started playing with Mikel Arteta, and Mikel Arteta seems he's one of the players he likes so much. He has always made it clear that he has big plans with the player. He has big plans with Dani Ceballos. He wants his midfield to be built along the lines of players like that. So probably that's the reason as to why he called him back on loan. And why not? He is a gunner. Shirt number 8. That is his shirt number that we'll be putting on. And of course, like I said, William Saliba will be putting on shirt number 4. And then the big announcement, which I don't know which one is bigger, but I'll start with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang agreeing to stay. I think this was a big signing. One of the biggest signings Arsenal has ever made is making Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang to stay. And I would give credit to Mikel Arteta. I think as a manager, this is what you got to do. This is what you have to show us, that you're a big influence in your team. You're a big influence in your side. And he showed it by making and convincing Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang to stay with the side. So I think that was another big signing. He's going to be getting 375k a week. That is when all things are added up. That is the total of the amount he's going to be getting. One of the most paid players at Arsenal, but he deserves it. Trust me, he deserves it. Two seasons, 20 goals plus per season. He deserves it. There are no more words to explain what Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang can do for Arsenal. I just love him, and I know many Arsenal love him. And the announcement that we have been waiting for, guys, the announcement that all of us will be, have been waiting for. I just want to put this on my head and announce that yesterday Arsenal made the biggest move to sign the biggest midfielder in terms of Premier League football, the biggest CDM, the most talented CDM, a bowler in the names of Thomas Partey. I think when you look across Europe, I think we have one of the most talented midfielders right now. We have one of the most talented midfielders. So Thomas Partey joins us on a long-term contract, 5 years. I think it will be 4 years with 1 year, with 1 year extension. He joins us for 50 million euros after we triggered his release clause. What was interesting in this deal is Atletico Madrid were quite very confident that the player is going to stay with them, to an extent that they wanted to bring in Mark Roca, and they didn't, because they were really convinced he's going to stay. And I think I did this story about, I think I did a story about this when I told you that Atletico Madrid was still in fear. It was around, I think, 2 weeks ago, that they were still in fear that although Arsenal have, look like this deal is off, they might come back on the deadline day and trigger his release clause. And of course, it was business between Arsenal and the Liga. It was only after 1 hour that Atletico Madrid were notified that the player is gone, when the player was almost finishing everything. Beautiful scenes, emotional scenes. I loved what I saw yesterday. And tirelessly, I made so many videos about Thomas Partey. So he joins us. He'll be putting on shirt number 18 like Bruno Fernandes at Manchester United. I think I just pray he becomes one of the biggest footballers. His career must be really set at Arsenal. I think he's better than what we have. He's way better than what we have. 50 million pounds is worth him. 50 million pounds is worth him. I think Arsenal made a big signing, and I cannot say much more about that. Any more players that came in? Of course, the other players that we can talk about are players that are in the academy. The players that left the club, of course, Emi Martinez left for Aston Villa. He's doing so well there. He left for £20 million. Finally, we lost one quality player. But there is nothing to do. And that reminds me, we also brought in Alex Runarsson to replace the man himself, Emi Martinez. So Runarsson, joined us for £1 million from Dijon. Yeah, from the club itself, Dijon, from France. After we sold Emi Martinez. So Emi Martinez was the first player to leave the club. Matteo Guendouzi also left the club. He went to Hertha Berlin on a 1-year loan deal. Probably he's going to be coming back at the end of the season. Lucas Torreira also left for Atletico Madrid on a 1-year loan deal. However, if they want to buy him, they will buy him. There is no buy option. There is no buy obligation to buy. But if they want to buy him, they will buy him. So those are the that's the transfer roundup around Arsenal. If you want anything around transfers, please go in the comment box and tell me, because what about this? I'll be doing a video. But like I said, I'm coming back with the transfer ratings. Please stay on the channel, the Arsenal Podcast. Love you. Smash the like button. Let us get them to 300 as soon as possible. 300 likes as soon as possible. Big up.